Hey, what's up guys? MGH here. Welcome back to another episode of Operation Arsenal. Today we got, well, I was about to say a comfortable win, but it was just a win against West Brom. There was highs and lows in this match. I felt like there were moments where we could have been a lot better. There were moments where we were brilliant. I think West Brom were actually pretty decent on the day, and I think actually they're going to be doing very well this season. Again, under Tony Pulis, I think he's done a great job at West Brom. Great manager, really good, underrated manager. I know he's more defensive-minded and doesn't exactly play beautiful football at any club that he ends up at, but West Brom are just a solid unit, and I think 2-0 is a bit flattering to Arsenal. So I guess the first thing I should say is Lacazette getting both goals, although a tap-in and a penalty. I mean, I guess you could say it's not really anything special, but still, it's good to see our main signing this summer. Kolasinac, I feel bad because he is still... I'd actually go as far as saying he's a better signing than Lacazette, but because he was free, it doesn't grab the headlines, does it? Lacazette is our big money signing, and he looks to be a very shrewd signing once again. Well, actually, I think shrewd's the wrong word. I mean, around £50 million is a lot of money, but in today's market, getting a player like Lacazette is going to cost a lot of money, so I'm really happy we spent the money because he does look like a good player. So, of course, we were playing at home. You'd expect us to beat West Brom at home. And although it happened and we did get the 2-0 win, I do want to talk about some issues that are still quite clear to me in the team. I guess we could talk about the team selection first. We had Aaron Ramsey playing at the right wing / that free roaming position that Mesut Ozil normally plays. And I think Ramsey looked okay there. I just feel like Ramsey's one of those players where it doesn't seem to have a position that's just solidified. He has been playing centre mid for most of his career, but there has been times at Arsenal where he's been pushed out on the right, like today. But what I did see was a player that is comfortable in that position, but obviously wants to drift inside. And I felt like we were missing that outlet on the right. Now, I'm not saying Mesut Ozil is that perfect outlet. I don't think he is. Most of the time, actually, I think he's almost a bit of a liability because he doesn't come back and help the team out. But he often drops in or cuts inside. And he's basically playing as a central attacking midfielder behind the striker. So we miss that kind of area of the field where you can push it out wide. Alexis Sanchez provides that on the left. He goes out wide. He cuts inside. He's got really good work rates. You know, he's a runner. He doesn't stop running. And that's where I think Alexis comes up so good, so strong in our team. So Ramsey playing in Ozil's position, it justified it for me, my thoughts here, that we are lacking something in that area, but it doesn't always matter. Sometimes we get away with it because, of course, we play it out on the left more of the time than not. We pass it to Alexis as soon as we can, but when we give it to Ozil, when he drops inside, when he manages to find those passes, you don't really notice it. But I feel like it might get to the point where we are going to have to invest in a proper right forward, a right winger that's really good on the side of the pitch, that can, almost like Iron Robin, just a runner that stays out wide, gets those crosses in. That's just an area I think that one day we are going to have to definitely improve in. Also, I think our midfield looked a little bit slow today. I think Xhaka, whilst he's great on the ball, he might give it away every now and again, but most of the time his passing is pretty spot on. But one huge letdown to having Xhaka in midfield. Don't forget, we've only got two centre midfielders in this formation. He has a lack of mobility, should we say. He's pretty slow. There were a few times where maybe a pass into him wasn't great and he had to stretch out to take the ball under control, but he might have miscontrolled it. Not necessarily his fault, but then he hasn't got the pace to recover. And a couple of times I felt like, if we were up against a better team than West Brom, no disrespect, but maybe a quicker midfield team. Their midfield isn't exactly quick either. We could have paid the price, and we have done over the last few games. We have paid the price of losing the ball in midfield and not being able to get back into shape. Next to Xhaka tonight, we had El Neni. Whilst I think El Neni's great, I like what he does for the team. But again, he isn't a Kante. He's not someone that you can rely on to get back into position. He's not very quick. So again, this is another area of the field I think we do need to improve in at some point. We need a world-class centre midfielder that can partner alongside Xhaka. Sort of like a Ramsey-esque player that's really good going forward, because I like Xhaka sitting back a little bit. A deep-lying playmaker. But we also need someone that's good defensively. We need a true box-to-box midfielder that's quick. And obviously there isn't anyone out there available right now that we wanted to sign, but I'm pretty sure Wenger will be looking. I'm pretty sure that Ramsey is not going to be the perfect player for that position. Otherwise, he would have played today. There's no doubt about it. When we have, Iwobi could have played on the right instead. You know what I mean? It feels like Wenger thought, right, Ramsey, I'm not 100% comfortable with him next to Xhaka. I'm just going to push him out on the right and bring someone just consistently good. Not brilliant, but good. And that's El Neni. So those are two areas, I've spoke about it even in my Arsenal career mode, which, by the way, if you haven't been watching, I'd really appreciate it. I've been talking about Mesut Ozil as a right winger doesn't quite work, even in FIFA, because obviously he's an attacking midfielder. He's not a typical winger. And also midfield next to Xhaka, Ramsey just doesn't feel quite right. Now, I'm not trying to compare FIFA with real life, but if you feel it in FIFA and you see it in real life, there's obviously an issue there. So that's just how I feel. Quick word on Monreal, by the way. For me, unbelievable tonight. There was a moment where he cleared the ball off the line, and it wasn't your typical clearance. This was unreal. It's worth a goal to me. That kind of off-the-line clearance is worth a goal. West Brom should have scored probably 2 or 3 goals tonight. So I'm thankful they didn't. They had a bit of an unlucky night, I would say. I would be fuming. Put it this way, if Arsenal had a performance like West Brom tonight, where they've gone away to a pretty tough stadium, they've had a lot of chances, and they come away with a 2-0 loss, I would be absolutely gutted. So West Brom fans, I feel your pain. I thought you were great tonight, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine. But one of the reasons I think that we did win tonight was Monreal. I really do feel strongly like that. We don't have a third centre-back, a solid third centre-back, a world-class player. That's why I brought Van Dijk in my career mode. I feel like Monreal, whilst he's doing a good job at centre-back, especially tonight, it was a great example of, good centre-back play. He's not going to be a permanent fixture there. He's obviously around that 30 years old mark. I think he might be 31 in a couple of months. So we are going to have to bring someone in there as well. But I do want to give credit to Monreal because he looks like he's played there all his career. He's doing well. Koscielny and Mustafi, I don't have any complaints. They did pretty well tonight. I think Kolasinac had a bit of a slow game compared to his, really great start at Arsenal, but was still pretty good. There was moments where he bombed forward and, he got a good couple of passes into Alexis. He's just so strong. You just can't tackle him. One thing I would say about Kolasinac is he seems he's a bit excitable. He sees an opportunity to maybe intercept the ball or just run forward into space. And I think sometimes he does neglect the space behind him. And that left us open a couple of times because he was forward. Now, whilst that's great, we're winning the game, maybe it's not such a big deal. But he is still a left wing back and he still has to defend. I think he's great going forward. And actually, he's very good defensively. But there are moments where I think, why is he going for that interception? If you miss that interception, we're in big trouble. So I get it. Maybe it's an experience thing. He's still young. I think that he will get better and better, obviously. But I like that about him as well. I love the attitude. He wants to get involved, and I like that a lot. I think Bellerin had another decent game as well. He's looking like a really, really confident player at the moment, which is great to see. There was moments where he was getting forward. He looked like he was playing at right wing. And of course, the main reason I think Bellerin is confident is because he's got that pace to get back, and if he makes a mistake, you can pretty much guarantee he'll get back in position, so he's never really out of position because he's so quick. Is there anyone else I really want to talk about? I've already mentioned how Lacazette, he got his 2 goals. They weren't particularly special goals, but I remember when we signed Lacazette and I said in a video, and someone tweeted me today and reminded me of what I said, and that is he scores rebounds. We've been missing a striker like this since, Thierry Henry, I guess, but really he's an Ian Wright type player. If you don't know who Ian Wright is, for me, probably the second, maybe third best striker in Arsenal's history behind Bergkamp, if you can call him a striker, and of course Thierry Henry. We've missed a poacher, someone that's in the box, just nicking goals, and that's exactly what Lacazette brings to the side, which makes me very happy. I think, when you look at Thierry Henry, you've got a bit of a special player that makes goals out of nothing. Whereas Lacazette, you definitely need to provide for him, although I'm sure he will score goals on his own. He'll work a ball around a defender and slot it in. But today you saw a poacher. You really did. I thought the penalty was brilliant as well. Really well-placed penalty. Alexis, there was a few moments where he looked a bit frustrated. He wasn't receiving the ball enough, maybe. But I'm happy to see that he's smiling in a way. He seems to be, up for it, which is good. I was worried that obviously with the transfer to Man City breaking down that he wouldn't want to play anymore. He'd be upset that he's still at Arsenal. But it seems like he's going to finish up his year here. He'll sign a pre-contract in January, I'm sure, probably with Man City or Bayern or someone like that. And you know what? He'll finish a great career at Arsenal. He's been so good for us, and I won't even be upset. Oh, I will be upset that he's leaving, but you can't be mad at him, especially if we're 5th or 6th in January. I mean, how can you even try and get him to stay on? But overall, very pleased. A normal game. This is just a 2-0 win against West Brom at home. There's going to be more of these types of results throughout the season, but it does move us up into 7th place after a really poor start. You think back to that terrible game against Liverpool, even the game against Leicester, where we still came away with a win, but it was pretty dramatic. And of course, Stoke losing away from home. It's just nice to see that we're hitting some form now, and hopefully it will continue. But a massive thank you for watching Operation Arsenal once again, guys. If you do enjoy these videos, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell as well. Make sure you're clicking that. Join the notification squad, as they call it. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.